I went into elected service because I was frustrated as a prosecutor in Baltimore City, and I really wanted to work at root causes: education, jobs, housing, all of those things. In 1999, I ran for mayor, and I was able to win a tough race. And a big part of it was I had a plan for how together we could make our city a safer place. We used the map as the common platform. We became kind of an early leading example. You know, if in crime, the goal is identify where crimes are happening and then deploy actions that prevent or reduce crime. That was Jack Maple's insight with policing. And that's really the essence of this new way of governing. When Jack was a subway lieutenant in the New York Transit Authority, police department, Jack started doing something with simply paper and magic markers. He started plotting where crime was happening in his part of the subway, day in and day out, the science of where, combining that with the science of when it was happening, and then he started applying the science of how to deploy his decoy officers when they were having a purse snatching problem, where and when, how to deploy his officers to prevent armed robberies based on where and when. And soon, he was driving crime down dramatically. And then Jack found himself walking in almost by accident to a software conference somewhere in Midtown Manhattan, and he stumbled upon an Esri booth. He got a demo of ArcGIS, told the guy what he does, and he said, well, this tool would actually do it automatically for you. Mind-blowing. Jack runs back to the NYPD and says, you've got to get me this newfangled tool called ArcGIS by Esri. Every year, it seemed the NYPD in the city of New York, even as Baltimore was becoming more violent, was breaking every record in terms of safety. I led Baltimore City Council delegations up to see what they were doing in New York and asked the question, why can't we learn from this and do it here in our own police department? Baltimore went on to achieve the biggest reductions in Part 1 crime of any major city in America over the next 10 years. We took the same method and we applied that when I was elected governor to the running of an entire state. Our state is, to a great degree, defined by the Chesapeake Bay. Some have even said that the Chesapeake Bay is the soul of Maryland. So for 350 years, as population grew and heavy uses on land adjacent to the bay's watershed increased, the health of the bay declined. As we took this new way of governing and performance-measured governance using the map, we applied it to the work of restoring the health of the Chesapeake Bay, mapping the flow of nitrogen, phosphorus, and sediment. Where does it come from? What are the most impactful things we can do on land to reduce those flows? One of the biggest ones that got the biggest amount of nitrogen removal was upgrading our wastewater treatment plants. Few things give me as much joy as being able to see the waters of the Chesapeake Bay come back. If we cannot solve our problems, if we cannot accomplish real, tangible things, safer neighborhoods, clean drinking water, reversing climate change, then there's not much reason for us even to have a government. We've never had better tools for doing it. Mayors have figured this out. It's time that nations figure it out because our world really needs us to be able to get things done, to be able to work at scale in collaborative, life-giving ways that give our kids better lives.